We're going to talk about loneliness and how you can deal with it right now from somebody who's been lonely most of his life and is going through a very lonely moment right now. You see, I'm at a very lonely point in my life right now, and it has nothing to do with the world around me. I have a very loving family, I have very strong friendships, and a very fulfilling personal life. But nonetheless, if you were to ask me how I felt at this moment, I would say I feel pretty lonely. And that's the first point I want to bring up about loneliness. It is absolutely okay to say that you're lonely. We get taught with all the other emotions ways that we can talk about them, feel them, express them, but for some reason, loneliness doesn't get brought up that often, and I think I know why. You see, society teaches us to deal with most of our emotions by ourselves. Being that we're all individuals from a very individualistic society, this is the paradigm that's pressed on us. But that doesn't leave much room for loneliness, because loneliness, not every time, but a lot of the times, does require communication with other individuals, or maybe even the presence of other individuals, if for no reason other than just to lessen the extent of the loneliness itself. And this makes loneliness feel ultimately different, like something categorically separate from the rest of the emotions, sometimes something to even be ashamed about. But it's not, and it's okay to mention that you are lonely. In fact, it's actually healthy, because it teaches you that loneliness is a normal emotion, and it's just as normal as any of the other emotions. You see, for myself, for the longest time, I always thought loneliness was something so much worse, so much more poignant, so much more visceral than all the other emotions. And for me, it was, and it still does feel that way most of the time. And this could just be my own struggle with that emotion, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the way that we view it. And so you need to understand that loneliness is a normal emotion, you're allowed to talk about it, and you can find ways like any other emotions for it to be productive. My biggest difficulty with struggling with loneliness was what I mentioned earlier, but also the fact that when I'm lonely, I get more reserved, more isolated, and more withdrawn into myself, but I didn't have any way of dealing with that. And so it was very difficult whenever I felt these feelings. As I've grown and matured and explored that feeling, I now realize that there can be something productive that comes out of it. That when I withdraw into myself, I can have things there to think about. I can have places in my mind, so to speak, that I can go. And I can build for myself something of a private little garden that I can explore when I'm lonely. And this rich interpersonal life has helped lessen the extent to which the loneliness bothers me or makes my life go up and down on that roller coaster. So if I would give advice to anybody struggling with loneliness in a lonely moment, or even who just feels lonely most of the time, I would say 1, be okay with saying you're lonely. 2, see if there's anybody that you can just spend time with, because it does really help. And 3, if you can find a way to sort of cultivate an inner life or a space for you where you can go when you're lonely, I promise you that will be helpful. Hopefully you've gotten something out of this, because I know it's been a long journey for me to learn these lessons, and hopefully maybe it'd be a bit shorter for some other people. Thank you so much.